So common law is just plain English terms as applied to the courts as against any other law in the courts.
I see, right, and that includes the Queen as well.
Yeah, it goes over the top. It goes over the top. It supersedes the Queen's law or any other law in the court. The common law always comes first. The indigenous people are under common law.
Under common law.
Yeah, that's the first law of the land.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mhm.
So if I've got a trouble with anybody like the Runanga, I go under common law.
Yes. That law, yes, you go under common law because that law supersedes any other law because that's native. Your native law comes under common law, which was the first law of the land to be recognised by British.
And
that's King's law.
The Queen of England supersedes everything.
No, she's subservient as Vice Admiral to the King's law. The King's law always is the creator of laws, not the Queen. Queen doesn't make laws. Only a king.
I see.
So, but she's an administrator of the King's law because there's no king there, and so she's an administrator. But you can challenge her with the common law to the King's law.
Now, if I want to sue Rudanga, pinching my money, what do I do?
Well, you use common law because they're using statute law. They changed the common law in the courts. They put statutes there which changes the British law to suit themselves. And so once they put statute laws in, and the treaty settlements and all the principles of the treaty, those are added on to the normal common law. And
now,
so
when I say to them, this man, the Attorney General, is treasonous to the sovereign of New Zealand, to me, the sovereign. Now, what do I do?
You have to go back to the common law of native title or jurisdiction. See, because they've got the courts are in their jurisdiction, you have to put things in your own jurisdiction, and the law is always going to go through their courts because there's no court you can go to other than the World Court to try them, because they'll use their court and they use the common law and the statute laws on top of it. In the High Court or in the District Court, they'll just play with you with their court because they're using the law.
I get nowhere.
Oh, you do get somewhere, but it costs you for the lawyer or the barrister to use the common law against their use of the common law. They're using the common law too.
Right. What if I use the admiralty law?
That's a different law again. That goes above all the laws in the world.
Right?
That law goes above all the laws in the world. The Admiralty law is a declaration of war. It's a state of emergency. When there's a state of emergency, they can capture the government that's running the country and take it off them. That's a king's law. That's a king's law. Yeah, that's how they conquer lands and countries. They just go in and create a war, and then they use this flag to capture the whole country and take the government off them and put the British government or the federal government right over the top of that government. That's what they've done in America. The federal state government rules over all the other governments.
Right. So, therefore, the Admiralty law is the law that you are instigating.
That's finished. It's all, I'm enforcing it now from one marae that we've just finished having hui on to enforce the Admiralty law in the court, on the marae. Now, no one can do that because we did that at Waitangi when I got booted out. We were putting together the native court, brought it over from Kororareka and put it on Te Tii Marae by the Popo. Now, that can only go through that court with me being there, the king. I'm acting the king as if I'm the king, and everybody now realises in Nga Puhi they are calling me the king, and the crown, the Maori crown, and the king, and they're going for it. And that's when Jim Wikotu in Opotiki took off and said he doesn't need Nga Puhi, he's going to get his land back. So he's going to go. He's gone ahead. Some of them have gone ahead without me with that jurisdiction. They've gone because they can do what they like with a native court. I've just opened up the court in the little tent I had there, and nobody saw that one, you see. So now Bundy Waitai, he's opened the native court up in Te Hapua. So I've been up there, I've spent the last 14 days going from one marae to the other, explaining how that works. And they've suddenly switched around. The taumata has said, sorry John, we didn't realise what you were saying, and you got thrown out. And I said, well, you know what happens when you throw a king around? You get your head cut off. I can cut your head off with this law. You see? So I'm putting a police complaint in about that, assaulted me, that Hama Apiata assaulted me when I went out and threw me out. Now I'm just putting a complaint because Kingi said go and complain. I've taken till I just got home yesterday after being up. I've been away right from Waitangi Day up north on the Marae, explaining how this works, how the Admiralty court works. And that's all that happened. They brought the flag over from Kororareka, but they didn't bring the court over. They left the court there, brought the court and stuck it in a tent beside the popos, then had the 21-gun salute for that and all the rest of it, and they went through the motions. Now they're using it without me. So they conducted a court hearing inside Te Marae with Bundy and let me right out of it. But I just let them run because at the end of the day, it's all going to come back.
It was your idea and they were instigated.
Yeah, but once they knew what it is. And then the guy that was doing my computer and doing all the documents stole all my computer. Now they got my computer and that's why I've got the police. I had the roughest deal in Nga Puhi. The Nga Puhi stole it. The girl that was working on my computer while I went into the marae, little did I know they were stealing everything out of it and took the whole lot. And when I went to get my computer, it was empty. And I've been trying so hard to get it all back. And Tracy was here yesterday, and she was going through the files to see how they did it. She was reading into my computer, and she's seen it, and she made the complaint to the police. And I'm just sending it to the police just now. I went through a hell and fire because they were shutting it, and that's why they threw me out of the marae, because I was going to shut down the Governor General with this document, with the writ warrant and the proclamation. Shut her down and shut everybody down. That's why they were frightened.
So they took all your ideas and...
they're going to run off with it. They've gone and run off with it. They've run off with my information, and now I'm going to get the police to get it back. I've got some of it back, but not all of it. And it's just come back in bits and pieces. My whole life's work has gone up in Nga Puhi. But they won't get far because no one writes like me. Yeah, no one writes, and they can't do anything when it comes to the pound note. They can't go and cash it up. It'll still end up with me. And so I've got some of the stuff back, but I've got my computer in now getting looked at. But another one, but I've got to hold this one for the police. Because they've stolen everything. And
Bundy.
No, not Bundy. The other guy, the Pākehā guy from Aupouri, from Hokianga, and the other girl that was working with him on my computer. While I was in the marae, they were... Eh? No, not Carla. No, they got nothing to do with it. No, there was another bright spark that's been following me all along on my Facebook. They've watched me on Facebook. There's a few of them watching me on Facebook, but I didn't realise that they were helping themselves on my computer while I was in the marae. They were looking after and altering my documents so that I can have them printed out. Nobody got any copies, you see. I sent a copy off to Westminster, but it was full of mistakes, how I do my documents, but it didn't worry me. and then they said, oh, your documents all not gonna don't look right. So they had something else in mind. They corrected it, and then they stole everything. And when I went to see my computer when I got back, and I looked in it, I looked for something, it wasn't there. Then I looked and there was nothing there altogether. So all my work is, they've got it now. Yeah, they wiped a lot off, and they've got all my titled energy plans too for all my projects. The whole works, the whole thing. They can sell it for 300 million just like that. They can sell my stuff in there to the Chinese for 300 million just like that. So I'm hoping. Oh, the girl that we stayed at her place in Kaitaia. We stayed in Hokianga. We stayed at her place, and that's when everything went haywire because she said I can go and stay at her place. So me and my Maori mate went there, and his wife went there, and my Maori mate, little did I know, he was watching them. He tried to warn me, but I didn't listen to him because I got these people's name on my documents as administrators. So they were administrators to make my documents legal. You see, I'm the sheriff, but I needed administrators, so I just picked them in the last week before I went to Waitai. Trusting them because I've seen them online, but that what happened. They had an agenda because they saw the trillions of dollars worth, pound notes worth, that they was going to make. They was going to make.
What you're saying, all right? Now, if I want to complain about treason by the Attorney General, where do I go?
The World Court. The World Court is that's the only place you can go because that's the King's Court. That's King William is the Dutch, and the Dutch own the World Court, World Court in The Hague. That's where King William comes from. There.
And that's where we all have to go, eh?
Yeah, that's King William's family estate there, the Dutch. So he owns the Vatican too. King William the Third and Fourth owns Vatican.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're all right. No, I'm just telling Noel, he's all right.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay then, geez.
Yeah, so that's what the trouble. That's what the trouble. Kingy will tell you because Tracy's telling him how much trouble I'm in with all my documents.
Geez.
It's worth gold. They're wicked. They've been watching, and I didn't know because I've got one of my family's not looking after me. I'm worth a lot. But Tracy's only just realised that my stuff is lethal. It's lethal in the wrong hands. It's lethal in the wrong hands because it's King stuff.
So if I want to complain about treason, I have to go to the World Court.
That's King William's court there. And that's the only place. No good going here because you can't go in their court because they'll brush it aside. It's no use me going in these courts. We're just going to go in a native court, and I've got yet to prove it yet. I've still got to wait for the old fellows or someone to get their land. Once I know they got their land back, it works. That's all I can see. If Jim Waikato gets his land back, it works.
Go over there. Yeah, I'm just telling no to go over there. Yeah.
Okay, so if Jim gets his land back in Aopouri, I know it works. So then I can go and get Cook Street. Because I can get Cook Street anytime because I got the backing from the Marae up there. They all went for this native court. In the end, the taumata and all the chiefs voted for it. So now I've got that. Now somebody's got to make it work. Yeah, but they've got to have all the information with it. That's why Bundy's, that Marae where they are is a Cook Island one. That's on my mother's side. The Cook Island, Kurahopa, Waka, is from the Cook Islands up there at North Cape, Cape Reinga. So that one there ties to the east coast, from Cook Island to Tahitian at the East Cape, on my father's side there, and my mother's side up there. It's the families there related to me. So I'm home up north. I'm going with that marae to base myself because that marae listens to me, and they passed it. that Bundy passed the axe and pushed the whole thing. He was really good. It's on YouTube. I put it on YouTube and of the whole hui inside the marae, so that everybody else can see how to do it. See, so now they can see how to do a full-blown native court and get their land back that way if that works. If someone makes it work, then it'll work. I haven't tried it yet because I've only just got back. All right?
Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah, I know. I just went to the physio to get myself back in shape. They sucked more black blood out of my head. That's the Chinese thing. It works good, and they said nothing wrong with my bones. It's just from my neck up. It's going through hell. But the guy that threw me out of the marae, they're saying the other one said sorry, but not that one, not the one that threw me out. You see?
Who was the one that threw you out?
Hama Apiata. One of the old taumata, one of the taumata. The other taumatas, Reuben Hehe and William Hehe, apologised to me in Waitaha's headquarters up in Kaikohe the other day when I had a hui there, Danny Watson, all those guys, Poraho Ruka. They all apologised to me and told me they didn't realise that what I had presented to them was a big deal. It was what they've got now. They've taken on board to use that to get their land back. And there I was helping Nga Puhi, and there they're booting me in the guts and then stealing all my stuff. You see, because they know what it is when they started reading into it. They knew it was a native court that did the trick. Yeah, the flag was there, but it left the court behind. See, and that's all I figured out to bring the court over, and now they're claiming the court. You see, and so they don't need me anymore. See. So I'll just sit and watch them till they get to the stage where they try and get money. And then I'll jump in with the pound note because they'll try and use the pound note, but they won't get it. That stops there when you go to the mortgages and the transfer on the land. They don't know how to do that. And let alone make the pound note bill anybody. They're reading to see if they can do it, and they'll always get caught up in it because the British are watching them. You see? I'm only assuming that the British are saying to people, don't touch what I do. That's why nothing happens to me. The only people that have scammed me or hacked my stuff is the Nga Puhis. My computer. Well, they just took it straight in front of me.
Well, they do things without even thinking, eh?
Yeah, they'll do it and they'll think, oh, it's their flag, or they can do anything they like, it's their flag. But they don't realise what the flag really means. It means it's the trade and all the rest of the things inside. But they can see now that it's worth more than anything. Now they've got these documents. They've taken these documents and they're interpret them to themselves. Until the proverbial time to get money out of it, they won't get it because they have to come through me to get it. It's kingy. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's Kingi's signature that's gone to Westminster, not theirs. Even though they signed the documents, that was only from Te Tii Marae to their maraes. So it's gone out to the outlying maraes. First of all, it's gone up to that one right up north because that's the only one that took me with it. Bundy took me with it to their marae and told me to drive all the way up there. I had to drive all the way up there. It's a long way to... Bundy, yeah, he's a Waitai. I think that's the same as the East Cape Waitais.
But what do you think of him? What do you think of what he's doing?
Oh, he's right on. He's smack on.
Right?
He interprets it right. He's saying it right, and he's giving it a go to see how well he believes what I'm doing, and bought some shares. Him and Selwyn Clark bought shares into the whole business because they believe the whole thing's going to take off. It is going to take off.
Oh, really?
Right around the world. That flag went around the world, so it's not just here. So New Zealand is only 1/1400th of 1% of the population as against all the inheritance of King William III and King William IV. Only 1/1400th of 1% of 970 million trillion pound note. That pound note is as soon as someone gets their land back and they get Cook Street, it's cash. It's cash to that value, right? Over anything that's missing, right? Anything that is in the King's Bench Court is still there. They just made the King silent partner. See? And then the Queen took over and administered all the money to their royal families, not to anybody where it's supposed to go, to the King's people, the common people. So all I'm doing is getting it back to the common people and splitting it. And that's all that New Zealand gets, that much of the value of that pound note, which is, anyway, it'll give each one over $1 trillion each. When you work out the figures, that's what they're worth from 183 years of them screwing everything out of this land. And every other country in the world. It's not our problem where the Queen went with the flag and the King's, we're the partner. They're a third party. Everyone else is a third party to us and the King. You see, you have to write the...
So that fella Epi,
yeah?
On the platform there, is he related to Kingi?
In a way, in the whakapapa, in a way, but from Matauri Bay and from those Ngati Rehia, they're in the Ngati Rehia family. And Ngati Kahu and the Ngati Rahiri on the Kaikohi side. So it doesn't matter as long as they're married. There's not going to be enough Maoris to go around, right? To put themselves one on one.
They don't like Kingi yet.
No, they kicked them out too. And I said to Kingi, they kicked them off the taumata, and I said to Kingi, don't worry. Because that's how they put it together. When they have their huis, they don't have Kingi in it. All the taumata kaumatu huis that I've been going to, it's not got Kingi's name in it. Kingi's left out. I said to them, oh, by the way, Kingi's name is on the documents that are going to Westminster. You know? Yeah, because when I gave them the book, that's why Hama threw me out, because I gave them the folded copies, not the binded one. I only gave Kingi the binded one with the proper signatures in. So they got loose leaves and only less pages than what Kingi had. You see, because they saw he had more pages than them. So I think they got wild because they didn't get a book. You see, I had only you. They're jealous. They're jealous, and they want what I gave Kingi. I gave you the book, the same book as I gave Kingi, with all the pages in, but I didn't give the taumata in it because I didn't like them. And so because what happened was, Kingi left the book lying there on the floor and walked out, and then I went to pick it up and went to sit down. When I sat down, Hama came over and tried to get it off me, like I stole it off the taumata. You see? And he tried to get it off me. I put it in my bag and gave it to Manahi. And then he said, come, I want to have a talk to you out the back. As soon as I got out the... Eh? He's from Rangitukia. He's a rural waipu. He's Manahi Parapara Mohini. Yeah, well, he's the JP on my documents. He stamped them to go to Westminster. But these people was held me out to only brought the documents up to Te Hapua at the last minute, and they were changed. The words were changed. All my documents were changed, and she expected to get it stamped. I said no. I said to Money, no, you're not stamping it. I'm going to redo the whole lot and scrub all the rest. All those documents I put together, scrub the whole lot. Yeah. So she took off and thought that I was going to stamp it so they can administer all my business and dump me. Yeah, because I was tired. And I just left them to do it. Mm.
But you're going to change it?
Yeah, I'm going to change the whole lot and the watermarks, everything.
Good
job. Because I warned everybody on my videos. I warned the Nga Puhi, watch out for them because they have screwed Nga Puhi. They have jeopardised Nga Puhi, and they'll go after them. The Nga Puhi won't like them and deal with them because they tried to make. Well, it looks like they'll make the money out of it. They'll come out with a lot of money. You see, if someone running that business at the moment will be on 300 million a year, that's their salary just for looking after it. The administrators. That's how much, because it's worldwide. That flag has gone around the world, and all that commerce and all that pound note is real. All that is we passed it again through this taumata and everything in that native court. We passed everything, and now it's legal, but the cash it up is going to make it legal again. So Cook Street is 2.5 billion worth.
They can't do it without you, right?
Yeah, they don't know what to do. You know, it's got to go through Ngāne Man. He changes it from the Maori Land Court titles and the freehold titles, Lien's titles, Crown titles in New Zealand, to British titles, deeds, the old deeds, and takes the mortgage out and puts it back in customary. They don't know how to do that. So we're taking the mortgage. You have to go backwards and follow the ship back to England. You see, I'm supposed to be in England now, and I keep telling them I was looking for people to look after it here and administer it on this end while I go to the other end. Well, I'm not going to pick anybody. I've got to stay here, stay home and do it, and then fly to England and fix that lot up and come back again. Because I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody to run the business for me here.
That's right.
I've got to go on that end to fix that end and put the flag up on the other end because we're partners, and everybody else is third party. So the Queen and everybody else is third parties. They know that. They know that. And now we've got to that stage. Nga Puhi have woken up to say they're the first and the second party to the King, and they're calling everybody third party. You see, you can pick somebody up and charge them for being third party to the fraud. You see, they're suddenly their brains are ticking, and the empty parts of their brain have woken up and said, "Oh, that's easy. You don't have to go and borrow money. You just go and seize the property with a writ warrant." Because that's what that book is. It's a writ warrant. The whole book, the book itself is a writ warrant. You can walk up to any house or any place and with that book and take it over with the King's the declaration of war flag. Maungatautari always used to say that declaration of war flag. You see, he made that document and he always called it a declaration of war flag. He was right, but didn't bring the Maungatautari always said it was a declaration. Maungatautari always said it was a declaration of war flag, but they kept on the 1835. Once you stay on 1835, it's locked inside this government there. You can't use that jurisdiction. You got to go back a year back from that, 1834, and use the British jurisdiction. Too late for anybody to do it now because the British already got it. All they have to do is turn up on the other end and kick it into life, and then boot the Queen out and take our trust over. That's what I'm going to do. Take the Queen Victoria Trust over and pay the British. I'm going to pay the British military and navy 20 billion straight off with one of those pound notes to go and look for all the gold. You see, just use it. All you do is put a big note right over the whole lot. Don't worry where it is. Just use it for collateral. I'm just using that big note for collateral and just keep writing the note out. If I get past the first one, you see, I just have to. If
what is your biggest trouble now? What is your biggest concern?
My biggest concern is my computer getting my stuff back before someone goes and wrecks the whole thing. My files. I'm just got to get the police to give me a hand to get it, and that'll be that. But I'm just waiting to get one piece of land done. I just need to do one land, get it done, and the whole world will fall apart. One shot. No, it's easy. It's all done. All I have to do is get one piece of land here and the whole lot's going to fall over. All the Queen's stuff that's what Trump is doing. He's shutting it down and claiming all what we own. You see, the Queen is making him do it and use that gold to make a new money. There's a new currency coming out. They're shutting down the Federal Reserve because they want to get rid of all their fraud inside it, then they'll bring this gold money out from our gold and then use that for money and then screw some more out of the people. Because that's what are heading off the gold and get the military going. Because the British, Brexit, they're trying to shut down Britain, and once they shut that down, out there goes our flag. And so I'm trying to salvage our flag before they get rid of and shut down Westminster. They're thinking of shutting the Lords down right now. Because, yeah, the Lords, and get rid of the Lords. The Lords are there for the King. So they're trying, when the Lords go, all those Lords are there only because there's no King. And so they'll try and slip Prince William in as King without us knowing. And because they can't make a new King of England because there's already got a King of Britain, UK. They can't have a King of England because England is no more as a single country. It has to be Britain or EU, right? They're trying to shut down Britain, UK, Westminster, to take over the one world government and inside the EU Parliament and the UN. The EU Parliament is owned by the Queen, and the UN is owned by the Pope. So the Queen and the Pope are running those two outfits with the mafia. And I'm trying to, I can shut them down one hit with a pound note. Bang, one shot. If I get one piece of land now, it'll shut them down. That's the power of the Hapu's contract with the King and the flag. That flag. This flag will shut anybody in the world down.
So your job is a big bloody job.
No, it's finished now. I've finished my job. It's all over. All I have to do now is convert any piece of land into cash. Yeah. And that's where I relied on these two Nga Puhis to do the administration for me, and that's what they did to me. Apart from getting booted off to Te Marae.
Yeah, terrible, eh?
I got booted right out of it, and I won't be going back in that marae anymore. I'll only go to the Popo and have...
We got no reason to go back there, but they did inaugurate our Maori government.
Yeah, so that part's all right. You have to govern. They're useless without a government. That's your department of government. All you needed was the money to run it, either from here or somewhere else. Because I haven't got it yet, because
we've got to work together, eh?
Yeah, you have to, because well, I'm going over there to run the other government in Britain. I'm going there to push the Queen out, to put the King that's already there. They've already got a King of Britain, UK, but the other Rothschilds and the Queen stole that King's position because it's supposed to be Ernest Augustus, and this Ernest Augustus is the King of Britain, UK. They can't make a King of Britain, UK with a King already there, and that's King William's line. That's the real King William line. And the other side, the Queen side, is the wrong George. It's the wrong bloodlines. You see, she hasn't got a coronation. Only King William and Queen Victoria's got a coronation. The Queen never had one. They just faked it. So all that side that's got Nazi and all the rest of it, and all the dirty side of the Queen, is all that ISIS and all that Muslim thing going on. That's all the Queen's fraud. That's how they operate their business. The King doesn't operate like that, but they've gone and put a mask over his face too. Now the only people that can make the King come to life is Maori. You see, because this flag here is the receipt for a contract. It's not gone. It's not gone. It's only legislated Institute X in the government here, but it's still there in the British side at Kororareka. It's still the British title, but they won't say anything. The British won't say anything. It's up to the native to say something. That's why I'm challenging the Navy.
Under what jurisdiction is that fellow working under the Maori, the native Maori, whatever?
Bundy.
Bundy.
Bundy's working under the Moai, not Maori. Nothing to do with Maori. He's working under Moai Crown, right? That's the hat on his head on East Island. That's our memorial. You have to have a memorial. So the Maori's got their memorial, but this is a Moai known fact. That's why they stole it. The Queen Victoria stole it and took to England, the Moai. So we're claiming a memorial of King William and the Moai Tahitian Polynesian title to the land in the Pacific with the Maui statue. And that's where we came from, Tahiti, on that side, and the Cook Island on the other side. See, I'm with the Cook Island up at Korohopo, up north. That's on my mother's side. So
that's where that's what he's working under.
Yeah, he's working under the Maui Crown and the King William IV contract of that Nga Puhi flag. See, it's a Nga Puhi, it's a British flag, it's not Maori. That 18, you got to separate, he's going under 1834, not 1835. Maori is 1835. Moai is just another native Polynesian name. Maori is a Polynesian name made up by the British or by the government. So that's just a title that's there now. That's in the real. The Maori is running things under that Queen Victoria side, right? So when you say Moai, yeah, but it works. It's worked for them, but not for us. It's worked. The Maori land court and all the rest belongs to them. It worked for them, but not for us. And when you say Moai, we can say anything. You see, so they're frightened of the Moai because it's a memorial that dates them right out. You see, it dates them right out. And King William IV and the Third. King William III is 1650 to 1701. He created the banknotes. And the Bank of England acts. He created the Bank of England. So I've taken the bank, taken the note, taken the flag, taken the king, taken the chief that got the King Tawhio that got the pound note, and ran with it. Now the Nga Puhi is saying, oh, we can do that too. You see? So they've grabbed, the Nga Puhi, because the flag went to a Nga Puhi. But guess what? It was a Waikato, Tira Waikato, Wharaherehere, Manukau that put the land transactions together to sell the lands from England in 1830. They went, King Tira Waikato Wharaherehere Manukau went to England in 1830 to Cambridge University to learn English and to learn land transactions, and he put together the titles there of the native court for the whole world, right? And then Hongi Hika, Hongi Hika comes from that Korohopo tribe up there, right? Aupouri. He went there to get the muskets to shoot all the other Maoris. That's why I told him at the hui, I told him, your chief went to England to get the muskets to shoot you fellas out, right? And then Hongi Hika cut the flag down. But I was saying, we went to the memorial for Hongi Hika in Kaikoui, and but there's no memorial for Hongi Hika. They've hidden it because it was a British thing. See, the British put that chief together with that title for the whole world, and that's the one I've got. Right on that marae, the Cook Island marae. The Cook Island marae, where that side of the story of Hongi Hika comes from, right there. But you won't find any memorial.
What do you think that Bundy is doing? What game is he playing?
Bundy has the right surname of that Cook Island title to the king.
Waitai?
Yeah, Waitai, yeah. He's, for one thing, he's got the right native title to fit the native court. You had to have the right surname and the right tribe of Hongi Hika, right?
Right.
With the Muskets, because that was a British title that the British king at that time put together. So that part is right on, and all the other taumatas, everybody's gone with it. They have gone with it and accepted and voted that in, unanimous, on that marae and on the other maraes. Even the Waitai has voted for it, and the taumata voted for it as a native court, and that started that off. So Bundy has a right to take this whole country over. In fact, that's what he's done. Him and Selwyn Clark, right? Selwyn Clark, or Herewini Karaka, is the family in the Hokianga of the British. So he's a British family that signed the contract with Bundy, signed with the Clark real estate people in those times as the Pākehā, right? The surname, you put that Clark surname with the Waitai surname, you got a deal. under British title, not New South Wales, Australia, straight British King title. And that's where I've gone right in the middle and set it up. And Bundy was the only one that came over with Herewini to that tent and sat down with me, with Manahi. So those three and Kingi makes up the title to this whole country and the world. The whole world, government, not the government, the government, dual government with Britain. So now we've got a dual Maori crown government with Britain, UK, and boot out the world, the lords, and stick in a king. They've already got a king of Britain, UK there. that's King William's line. He's already a king. He's been the king there, sitting and waiting for all this to fall. It's supposed to be him there as king, not the Queen's side. So all that's fortune. That's why I put the pound note. No one can touch. No one can touch any of those documents I got there with full of mistakes, or it didn't matter, because what I write is the law. And I've gone back to King William III's law, 1650 to 1701. I've gone back to those laws, and King William IV's laws from 1830 to 1837. It's only 19 A4 pages of laws of 7 years in only 19 pages. That's the law. So those laws can hang anybody, can do anything, can take any country in the world off them if they play up with this law. And that's what I got to that stage now. I'm at home. I'm now looking at what next to do with it. And those other fellows are just bolted on ahead to get their land back. I'll be surprised if one of them will get their land back by the end of the week. Because they now know that that book I gave you is lethal. It's lethal with the photos on it. That's a document. That's a court document. Will shut these courts down with those photos. When your photo goes on those pages, you'll have it. You'll have it because it's gone on YouTube. It's gone online. Everybody knows. Everybody's witnessing it around the world, and that is admissible as court evidence. I can go in the court with that and say, well, I told you so. You did nothing about it. And put my hat on with my badge, 8-point star. The 8-point star is the borough councils that picks up the ground rent. That's supposed to pick up the ground rent, and that's the registrar in the court that's sitting there now. I walk in there and shut it down and take over. But I won't be doing that. I'm only interested in the bank. A bank and projects with the money and get projects going and do that. But so your government should be run.
Yeah, I wish you luck, eh?
The thing is, I have to provide the money for the Hapu or government or anything. Once I get it, I've got to dish it out because it belongs to the Hapu and belongs to every other person that the Queen has screwed over. So I've got to make sure it goes to the right places and the right amounts go here and there for those reasons. So I can't think of it. That's why I said in the Marae, I said I can't think of anybody else proficient enough to run a Maori government than you. I think they didn't like that. They didn't like me saying that, but tough. That's the way it is. Okay. Okay. Bye. Right. There you go. That's Prime Minister of the Maori Government, Nikora. She has to address the issues of a government here. She has to reverse the government itself because with her she makes them accountable, invoice them, and that's when I pick the invoice up and build them. Right? She's needed to run a government, and that's normal process. If Maori think they can run the country, they need a Maori government. If anybody, Cook Islands want to take over this country, they have to get a Cook Island government. If Maori wants to take over this country, it has to get a Maori government. It's already got a Maori government in Britain. Dual, but we're not going to come here and run this place because we've got enough to do without doing that. Okay, so now I'm going to get my computer before the shop closes and get to work on that one. So that's all I want to say for this video, and we'll see you later. Whew, I didn't expect that call. I was sending the letter off to the police, and I'll do that tonight. Okay, bye for now. John Wana, Auckland, Otahuhu, New Zealand. Today is Monday, the 20th of February 2017. Wishing you good evening.